This is Horns Up. I'm Animesh.
And I'm Peter. And making his return to Horns Up after 2 years and around 100 episodes is Girish Pradhan. How are you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing good. Thank you again for the invitation to Horns Up.
Man, glad to have you back. Congratulations on the new album.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You know, anybody who's listening in to this kind of music would know that it's been a few weeks since Hail to the Heroes was released. That's the new album by Girish and The Chronicles. And typically, you know, this would be the time for you to be promoting it out on tour, right?
Yeah.
Talk to us, like, since that's really not like happening at the moment, we don't really know. What's the post-release work as such for an album that's released in early 2022? How do you guys keeping yourselves busy?
Well, the most of the time we recorded the video for Love's Damnation in the last few days before the album was released. The label just said, if you guys can make it happen, you know, I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? So after that, again, we've just been posting and stuff. Now we're gonna practice some, but yeah, not really, no action when it comes to touring and stuff like that. Yeah.
Do you miss that?
I mean, we released our second album when the pandemic started. We released our third album and it's still there. You know? Crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And when you're saying posting, right, I was just listening to a metal podcast. Actually, this was why am I? But the Machine Head frontman, right? And he was talking about
Rob Flynn.
Rob Flynn from Machine Head. I was listening to his podcast and he was talking about how he's like all over TikTok and things like that. And how TikTok is like, you know, the big thing for music. And unfortunately here in India, there's no TikTok.
It's banned, sadly. Yeah.
So what's it like in terms of just like social media and stuff like that for you guys, right? I mean, like in 2020, you cannot be like one of those bands that doesn't have social media presence or is all like mysterious, right?
Well, I think TikTok would have kind of helped some of the people out there. Probably a much younger band or a band or an artist doing something kind of out of the box kind of stuff, you know. But I guess we are like kind of stuck to the old school kind of a mindset, and we would have tried just sharing clips, like maybe live clips and stuff like that. But I can't imagine doing other stuff like, you know, like the stuff people do on TikTok.
Yeah, so
and stuff.
There's no synchronized dancing by the band members and all that.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we could just.
I'll give you an idea. So there are two spaces where you guys can capitalize really, and these are really stupid social media ideas. One of them is basically, I kid you not, Girish, you can like be the front man for like just hair maintenance tips on TikTok along with the rest of the band. That's one.
Yeah.
That's one. Okay. The second one is do a TikTok challenge. Can you scream or can you sing as high? And by high, I mean in terms of notes, as Girish can.
Yeah.
Well, no TikTok, so what do we do? I actually, you know, I told my wife, she lives in Dubai, so she has a TikTok channel of her own, but it's like full entertainment and like, you know, it's that typical TikTok thing, you know.
Sure.
And I told her, why don't you start a channel or something for GATC? And I sent her some videos and all, but I mean, I couldn't be consistent at all. But yeah, I mean, some people from the US kind of noticed it and they kind of started following, and their TikTok, they have been sharing our videos over there, you know. So there's a secret small TikTok fan base thingy going on over there. Which is
wow. Cool. That's something I wouldn't have expected, honestly, in there, right? And especially it's being run out of the country. So that's kind of cool. But coming back to like gigs, right? Because when I was thinking about it, you guys were one of the first bands or Indian bands, at least, that got to play gigs last year because you performed at a festival alongside Nazareth, and this was all the way in Switzerland. So I know like it's a little hard, and I don't want you to kind of be like, oh my God, this is
that's okay.
predicting the future. But how's this year looking like? I mean, honestly, for Animesh and me, we love the fandom. So secretly, we're hoping to see you and the rest of the band at fandom. But what about international gigs?
We are actually a part of this small fest in the UK called the HRH AOR Rock Fest. And it's being headlined by Steelheart, and there are other guys like Heat and Gothard and bands like that. And we got an invitation from the Switzerland Eurock Fest again this year, and it will be Skid Row headlining that one.
But awesome. Sorry. I always. Oh, damn it. Yeah.
That guy is not there. That guy is not there.
I know, but
if it was Steve Buck,
this question I think Girish can answer. Girish, is it worth seeing Skid Row without Sebastian Bach?
I have no idea. Actually, I'll be really honest. I'll be really honest. I have never really.
Would you want to
listen to the whole catalog properly? I've just heard a couple of songs because I love his voice.
Wow. So do I.
But I'm more of a fan. I'm more of a Rat guy, more of a Motley Crue guy than Skid Row, I think.
Okay. Fair enough.
Fair enough.
We'll give you that. So wow, so actually things are looking up for you, but any potential like probably longer tours or something like that?
Nothing like that. First of all, we don't really have any kind of proper management or something, and so it was a couple of months back. I was just chatting with Nolan from Cryptos, and they were also saying and I always look at them like kind of for guidance and stuff because they are the only ones doing it, right? And it's kind of I kind of try to check out what they are up to and all, and I ask them sometimes like how do we do this and then, and they're also saying maybe probably in the future we should do maybe not, it's not being planned or anything, but there's an idea that maybe a group of Indian bands can kind of go on a tour and come back. You never know, something like that might happen, but at least we talked about it. Which is cool.
The Indian invasion of Germany.
Yeah, fuck.
Hey, what's up?
the best of thrash and glam in one spot.
I know.
Coming all the way from India.
Who knows? It might become a reality. Never know.
That'd be actually a good pairing, honestly.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I'd see that bill in Bombay too, man.
After that UK thing, he actually there are a couple of shows in Belgium, Germany, and one more country. But I mean, it's not really fixed, because these things are like, first of all, for an Indian band, you need to think 10 times before taking a step like that,
Yeah.
There's so many other things involved, like finances.
Fingers crossed, man. I hope it happens.
Yeah. I know. But hey, you know what? Like Animesh said, and I'm going to repeat it, Cryptos and JTC in Bombay. Let's make it happen.
Oh yeah, we should, man.
Fuck it. Yeah, I'm gonna go and check with the local Hard Rock Cafe and see if that's possible.
Yeah. But did you guys know? Cryptos and we did a Judas Priest Iron Maiden night like a couple of years back together. I was singing like in that gig, which was really fun.
Animesh, pitch that gig first.
Pitch that, yeah. I'll pitch that gig, and by way of that, you guys we'll structure it out in some way that maybe half an hour of covers and then rest of that an hour set list.
Or maybe we do our set list and then end it with a mixed,
breaking the law.
Bye.
So coming close to a Hard Rock Cafe near you.
Hopefully.
Stay tuned for more details.
Yeah, hopefully.
Nolan will be like, what the hell is he talking about, man? He hasn't texted me for months.
We'll be sure to send Nolan this episode as soon as it releases.
Yeah, as a warning.
As a warning. Saying, Nolan, by the way, we are contacting you in a bit. Hi, Nolan. Hope you're well. Anyways, let's get back to talking a bit about Hail to the Heroes. Since it's been some time since the album released, which song do you think has become the most popular one for the listeners?
I think it's probably Hail to the Heroes itself, but I think Lover's Train is also kind of going. I think the more melodic kind of tracks are more on the top. But personally, I kind of really like enjoying to listening to I'm Not the Devil kind of songs, and Shamans of Time again is a very experimental thing going on there. So
Yep. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just list out some questions as such, and these are all about songs, about the songs themselves. And why don't you try and answer without like giving it a lot of thought? Okay.
Rapid
Sure,
fire.
sure.
Rapid
style.
fire. Oh yeah, it's called rapid fire. Shit, dumb me. Yeah, rapid fire. All right. Chalo, which song do you think best describes the phrase expectation meeting reality? In the sense of what you thought the song would be, and that's exactly the way the song has come out.
Oh, okay. I think that's Hail to the Heroes. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Which one would you peg as the dark horse? Like a song that you didn't think would, that you weren't like really that confident about when writing it, but then when it's on the album, you're like, fuck, this is a good song. This is a great song.
Yeah, that was Shamans of Time, because I mean that song just, I don't know, it started as we were like kind of expecting to turn it into a ballad or something, and suddenly it went to some, like a totally
Yeah, it kind of starts off like that. I
different
was wondering where it was going
direction.
to, but then boom, it just fucking hits you.
Very Slash kind of a feeling in the beginning, right? Like a very like 90s GNR kind of stuff, but suddenly it's just gone somewhere out of the window. Yeah,
Okay.
that was the dark horse, I guess.
Okay. Which one was the most challenging one to write?
Challenging one to write. Can't think of any.
Okay, all of them
actually.
were easy, yeah? Or all of
Yeah,
them were
it was
equally
pretty much.
challenging?
We were in a flow, right? So I mean, we started this writing this album like since as soon as we finished Rock the Highway. In the sense, we were all
Oh, wow.
those normal stuff, not as if we were planning to do an album, but like we had a lot of ideas already when we started it. So
Okay, cool.
Okay. Which one was the toughest to record? Like the one that you guys took like
Toughest
most
to
number of takes.
I think the tough part in this album was the lockdowns, and more than musicianship. It was like we would complete half of the song or something like that, and then suddenly there would be like a curfew kind of a thing, and then again I would just start recording vocals on some track, finishing the track, and then again we would just see a small window and then go to the studio, do the drums, so it was kind of hard maintaining that, I guess.
So-
We faced that in all the songs.
So wait, on a relative scale of like easy to record and hard to record, considering all the circumstances you talked about, how hard or easy was it to record Rock and Roll Fever? Because you've not only got Chris Adler on there, you've got Myron on there, and you've got
Yeah.
Rowan Robinson. Like,
yeah
how do you kind of make all of that happen? Because it's multiple studios, I'm guessing. Right?
yeah that's so we had a track called Rock and Roll Fever, and we had it ready actually. Then I mean we had been thinking ever since we started writing that song, like I mean like we were all wishing it was Chris playing the drums right up. But I mean, I'm the kind of guy who doesn't like, bothering anyone with like, hey, can you play drums and stuff? But the first thing I did was I sent the song to Myron and like, you want to fill in a solo? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And then I sent it to Robin. And I was like, sneaked in a question to Robin, like, hey, you think we should also like, yes, go ahead, man. He's just like us in the end. In the end, he's just a metalhead. That's what he said. So yeah, eventually after a few days, I just wrote to Chris, and he was like, absolutely, man, give me a few days. And he kept sending me his recordings. Like we were exchanging ideas, but at the same time, I didn't want to interfere too much because I wanted that unique thing
Yeah.
that Chris Adler does, so I didn't interfere much. So yeah, it's pretty much the whole thing is kind of his own idea, the whole entire drumming section. And yeah, it's something like that. I wouldn't say it was tough. It was kind of, I think we all are now in a flow, because I've been working with Firstborn for more than a year now.
Yeah.
I guess we all know kind of know how we work. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, 2 years into this kind of new work mode or whatever,
yeah,
everyone's pretty much used to this style now. Okay, cool.
everyone. Yeah.
Since we are still talking songs, the final question, actually the penultimate one about like this kind of rapid fire thingy, which one do you think is the most underrated song of the album?
Underrated would be "I'm Not the Devil." I think that's the one.
Okay.
But maybe we are too soon to but I mean that song is for someone exactly like me, who grew up with an album like The Number of the Beast or something, like a punk kind of a heavy metal, with a lot of kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So for me, that song, I think we could have done some more things with that song and promoted it more, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's the one.
Cool. Okay. Final one in the rapid fire. Since you've spoken so much about the songs and about so many songs, let's play one of them. Which song should we play and why?
Oh my god, I'll let you guys choose it. Please go ahead.
No. It's your rapid fire, not ours.
Yeah, cool. Same song, the underrated song.
Fine.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Why not? Here it is.
track you down and go pay the price. You better be ready to burn. Devil, I'm not the devil. No, I'm not the devil. I'm gonna track you down, yeah.
Wow. Now, that was the underrated track of the album, I'm Not the Devil. But I must tell you one thing, Girish, because the last time we spoke a couple of years ago about your last album, Rock the Highway, and it gave a glimpse of, a different side or a variety to the band, right? And totally, when we were talking about it, you were saying that, hey, this is something that we're going to try. That's exactly what you guys did on Hail to the Heroes. But one of the main differences on Girish and the Chronicles album this time is that you're not only dealing with, international acclaim and coverage from all over the world. We've seen you've been covered in many magazines and webzines around. You're also part of an international label now, Frontiers Music. How did that have an impact on the songwriting and production overall?
Since Rock the Highway, we were kind of knew what kind of a sound we wanted. We felt like we had found a sweet spot, but at the same time, we were aware of the fact that we needed to evolve the sound more in comparison to the last album. And I mean, we didn't really think of it in that way. We were just like, we'll just give whatever the best we can. We wanted to just like give our best 100%. But yeah, I mean, we kind of knew that these songs are gonna go in the international, and so we had to kind of make sure that we don't overdo some things and we don't like kind of or lessen something. We kind of had to find like some sort of a sweet spot, which again, which we didn't want to lose, right? So like we didn't drag the songs too much, or like I mean as professionals, I think everyone thinks like that, yeah, by their third or fourth album, I guess.
The other thing is, if people have heard the previous album, Rock the Highway, you'll immediately notice on first listen of Hail to the Heroes that one, it's way heavier and meaner. And two, it's also at the same time, it feels far more chiseled. It feels far more sharper. It feels a lot more focused.
Yeah.
Is that is that right for us to say? Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. We were like way more focused this time. I mean, we are always focused while recording an album, but I think we were more disciplined and we were more in the game, because when we did Back on Earth back in 2014, and when we did the second album directly in 2020, right? And that was a long gap. But by the time we headed to Hail to the Heroes, we kind of, and it was helpful, when we received the label's instructions that this is how it goes, this is what we need, this. I mean, you get a set of instructions like about the album cover, this, that. So it kind of, it was more systematic, I guess. And we kind of worked in a more disciplined way, I guess.
It's not just the discipline. Like another huge point to note is like, there's this sheer amp up of performances around the board, like be it your vocals, be it Suraz's riffs and solos, be it Nagen's drum work, especially Yogesh on bass, and every other thing that he's doing on the album. Have you guys changed diets or something in the last 2 years? Eating something new?
Actually, it was completely unintentional. Actually, I mean, it's only later on when I read some of the comments like on the internet, and some of them were kind of disappointed that like we've kind of gotten too far from our like really melodic side, right? And
really?
I was like, I didn't realize that, I was like, oh oh, is it like sounding too heavy or something, you know? And later on, I kind of realized maybe, I mean, I can never be sure of it, you know. For me, this is still, I mean, like a mellow heavy metal kind of a hard rock kind of an album, because
This isn't mellow.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, what's harsh for you, like Exodus or something like violence, something like
so
what's
and I love Slayer, I love
Yeah,
Megadeth, and also
fair enough.
it's more of a new wave of British heavy metal level, I
Yeah.
guess, right?
Yeah. But it's crazy that you're saying that, like, you've been like tracking comments and what people say. Is that something that, you know, you do on a regular basis, or is it that, you know, album is released, I don't want to read what people say? Because let's be honest, like, people on the internet are not always nice, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Please go on.
no, how do you go about it? I mean, like, is there a point where you're like, okay, I'm going to just spend 15 minutes reading and that's it? Or because sometimes you can just spend hours going down the rabbit hole, right?
Yeah, not really. I think one big factor is the fact that since I'm from Gangtok and you know, Sikkim's like kind of, we were always kind of far away from the scene or anything else, you know, and no one had ever attempted to leave the state and like kind of relocate to another place or tour the country or go abroad. I mean, we didn't have anyone to ask to, you know, like there was no guidance. We just kind of figured it like step by step on our own, and it was like a wild ride, you know. We didn't care, we just went for the ride, and we just never wanted to stop. And I was lucky to have bandmates like these, and like who were ready to travel anywhere. I mean, we just wanted to go out, you know. And I think those kind of stuff, it's kind of a new story for us, and I think I personally like keeping everything at a place, you know, maybe some sort of a documentation or something. It's not as if I'm proud or anything. I feel like, you know, we've kind of earned it with a lot of you know, hard work. I mean, we were just having fun, but it's still hard work, right? And now we are slowly beginning to feel the kind of the things we have done, and it's kind of getting heavy now, right?
Yeah.
So,
But wait, I must ask you, because the way you're describing it takes me back, and I'm sure Animesh is going to smile when I say these words. It reminds me of those scrapbook days, right? Remember, you'd kind of like
yeah, exactly.
make notes, like you do cuttings from newspapers and stick it in there. Do you have something like that? Be honest.
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not really like that. It's more like I paste the links and stuff, you know, and notes
Fair
and all.
enough. I know.
But
I know.
it will eventually become a scrapbook, that's for sure.
That's awesome, because I think, like, when I look back at my childhood, right, like my grandmom used to do that for me because I used to play sports. I still have some of those cuttings and things like that. But
That's cool.
yeah, but since you said that, you know, you've been following just in terms of the reactions and the media that you've been getting for this album, Hail the Heroes, have there been any like reviews or just opinions that are memorable? And it can be for both reasons, right? It can be either because it's positive or negative. And also, is there something that, say, a reviewer or someone who had an opinion just completely got wrong or didn't get?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So far, everything I've seen is kind of quite positive. Most of the comments and all. There will be some like just like no kind of a comment, you know? because there will be some people feeling like how, I mean, first of all, everyone seems to be really surprised that an Indian band is doing this kind of stuff. But I think a lot of them are not aware, like MTV was everywhere. We were buying cassettes by Bon Jovi to Iron Maiden, everything, right? And a lot of people, I think, are just not aware of bands like Rock Machine and all. They had already done these things like back in the 80s itself and early 90s, right? And I think I should eventually kind of let everyone know, you know, see guys, the scene was already there. It's not as if like, and they always expect like Indian band, like maybe there'll be some sitar or something like that. I mean, we never thought that way. Oh no, okay, yeah, they do it, right? But
they don't do sitar, they just do like
flute.
Punjabi.
Yeah.
Dhols.
Holes,
Yeah,
whatever.
that's like kind of the general idea that people outside, I mean, they will expect, oh, Indian band, there must be something, extra. But we just we're just saying, no, man, we're just doing what we loved doing since we were kids. And it's not as if I never learned any sort of Indian classic or anything like that. And if I like anything, I'm more drawn towards the ethnic kind of sounds, like what we have in Sikkim when these monks and all then chant and all that. That's the kind of stuff that appeals to me more, I guess, than Indian classical. I mean, no disrespect, it's like really tough to do Indian classical for sure. But it's just a matter of choice, right?
No, fair enough. I totally agree where you're coming from.
Yeah, we haven't had too many negative reviews about the album and stuff. But like I said, there are some people kind of disappointed who felt like our older albums were a bit more mellow, and this time it's gotten too heavy, and like my vocals developing into something more of a growling kind of a thing. And I think that kind of that's again from Firstborn, I think, because when I started experimenting with Firstborn, my vocals kind of got heavier.
But hang on, as long as it doesn't reach a Metallica stage where it's like the first 4 albums are the best, nothing else, then you guys are fine.
Yeah.
I'll still fight you on that, Peter.
Oh.
Anyways, okay, cool. I want to be a bit nerdy over here, Girish, and specifically, I want to talk about the title track, Hail to the Heroes. It comes in the middle of the album, almost towards the end, right? What's fascinating to me is the fact that it has a prelude or an intro, right?
Yeah.
Why is the intro a separate track?
Well, it's just it's kind of and labels and all. They felt like it would have been too long.
Cool. Is it to do with royalties or something of that sort?
Not really. It's just that it's too long. So it's like the Helian and the Electric Guy,
Yeah, then that's exactly what I was saying. Then why not just name them as 2 unique pieces, like Helian and Electric Guy?
Maybe we should have.
Oops.
Like just didn't come to my mind. Intro.
Okay, cool.
Exactly
I'm just pulling your leg there, huh? Like, I don't mean any anything of that sort. I was just being nerdy. I tried to figure out why. I was trying to think about it and I couldn't come up with an answer. So I thought might as well ask.
Okay. So, in our last chat, actually, you had shared that the band may explore like a concept album of sorts, right? And is there something that honestly we, along with a lot of people, are missing on Hail to the Heroes? If not, just what's the update on that? We're really curious.
Oh, you're talking about that concept I was talking about last time. Yeah, I mean, that has sort of become, I don't know, because it has a lot of experimental vibe and a lot of progressive vibe to it. And plus, we want to do something very different. So I think it should be done at the right time, because now we're just getting known as a rock and roll hard rock band, and I think it's too soon to do anything like that. But I mean, I think that's more like a secret dream project of the future or something, it might just not be a very GATC kind of a thing to do. So so maybe we might do it as another thing, or we haven't decided anything, but we know the kind of songs that we're gonna make on that. And and then finally GATC has introduced some Indian elements to this. So maybe not now.
Oh my god, this is becoming
Okay, cool, fine, all right. Okay, you know what? Let's play another song from the album at the moment.
Can I pick?
Fine,
Yes,
Peter.
please.
Yeah, Peter. Why don't you pick it? And we'll let Girish kind of take us through what the song means to them. Yeah?
Okay, fair enough. And I'll tell you why, because like I've heard the album quite a few times, but the moment I think when I saw the video for this track, it kind of just all kind of came together for me, and now I can literally like hear you singing it in my head. It's kind of weird, but I'm gonna kill the thing. It's Love's Damnation. Tell me about that track, man. And like, why was it like? Was it a last minute addition as a single, or like you just guys said, you know what?
Yeah,
want to make
video wise, it was a last minute thing, and I mean, it was not necessary, but we felt like, why not? This is like something, we are heading towards something, and why not give one more video to everyone? And we were like really tired of doing the same the band pose, kind of video again and again. I was like, you know what, let's do something new this time.
Yeah,
And
like introduce
so
colors, right? Why do black and white?
Yeah.
And
The
just
colors are
element.
awesome. I love the fact that you guys tried to do a story.
exactly. So
I love the small nod about Yogesh and Suraj exchanging instruments.
yeah. So although song wise, the whole thing is actually musically, it's entirely Yogesh's concept, and he's the one who wrote the whole thing. Although it was like he sent me the entire track along with Suraj's recording and everything during a lockdown. So I kind of started tracking the vocals on that, and the vocal concept was like, it was empty. It was an empty track. So I thought, let's try something that has a very David Lee Roth kind of like a verse, like, I guess it's I mean, it doesn't sound like David Lee Roth. Yeah. So the whole song kind of became, it was about like, the normal story about like a girl kind of giving you mixed signals and you're going crazy. It was like a simple thing going on. But by the time we started writing the story for the video, which was like just 2-3 weeks back, right? So I have this friend named Atul from Kerala. So he had come to town, and then I started like, why don't we introduce this, that? And I had a set of this tarot cards and stuff, It's like we wanted to make it like very, I don't know, kind of mystical and like, I don't know, very different. We tried our best. We used our basement and stuff, to do stuff. But in the end, it just turned out to be like pretty cool. I think it was a little different for a change, and we had a good time.
Yeah. So that entire video was like made in what, 5 days?
Yeah, just maybe 3 days.
Ace, man. Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
here it is. Here's Love's Damnation.
By the state of my mind, Ain't no revelation.
Oh, baby, I'm ready to beg for your love.
Ain't no revelation.
I can't get you out my, get you out my mind.
Lost damnation. There's no revelation.
You'll never find your way out of bed.
Lost damnation. There's no kind of tension.
Forever trapped, I'm a prisoner of
The love's addiction.
And yes, we're still chatting with Girish Pradhan, vocalist of GATC, Girish and the Chronicles. Girish, you also play in another band now that's pretty well known, like internationally already, just within like a year. It's called Firstborn.
Oh yeah.
Has the Firstborn experience taught you something you didn't already know?
Yeah, I mean, with Firstborn, I was like right in the middle of the crater, you know. So it's like a huge volcano or something, because you never know like which person is kind of like how they are perceiving you, you know, because this is very classic heavy metal kind of vocals mixing up with something that Chris Adler normally does, and again Myron is again very melodic kind of soft shredder, and I was kind of, you know, like it has always been kind of you never know what to expect from the people, you know, because you don't know who are going to be the majority of the people. There will be a lot of people saying like really nice things, and there'll be a lot of people who are like, I guess, more into extreme stuff, who are like, oh my god, what is this rock vocalist doing there? You know, so it was kind of I had never faced that before, you know. I was like, okay, so this is kind of a challenge, right? I mean, so I kind of take it in a positive way, but I mean, I bet it would be like crazy to perform those songs live, you know, in a really nice it's just that short and sweet like really heavy songs and fast songs. So what I've learned is that they are like just so good in what they do, and they're like really professionals, you know, when it comes to like finishing their stuff on time and this and that, you know. Especially James Lomenzo, you know, like he was touring with Megadeth, and then there was this time gap between the performance and while he was waiting in the green room, and he completed an entire bass section on his, you know, system, and he sent it back to us, and then he went for the gig, and after that he went to another city for a gig. It was like, oh my god, that is like super pro, you know. It kind of gave me a lot of inspiration that people can actually like work that way, you know, because I on the other hand was like, you know, just lying down on my couch most of the time. I'm not trying to belittle me, I guess. It's just that I guess it's a way of life, right? And
and I think that's the thing, right? Like, especially like when we first talked to you about it, I think we were one of the first people who talked about the entire
totally.
experience. But you know, we heard the Firstborn tracks, and you had the EP come out, and now you've got the JATC album also being released. Was there an influence, like if not directly, indirectly, on the band and the album itself? Would you say?
I think so, you know. Unknowingly, I might have there are some songs where I might have gone really heavy with the vocals, and I realized, oh yeah, I mean, you know, this is something I was doing more with Firstborn before anything like this for GTC, right? So yeah, I mean, that way, yes. And you know, by the time we recorded Rock and Roll Fever, I kind of got to know, like, I was pretty sure, okay, so I was doing that a lot, you know, in some of the songs. I mean, I was listening to Shamans of Time yesterday, and I found out there are like very growl like stuff going on there. Okay? I was like, they're like, oh my God, I didn't know I had done it so much. Also, like I kind of because I took a gap. We all decided we'll listen to the album once it's released. Like we took a long break from the album, because we were tired of listening to it again and again.
Actually, that was my initial shock. I was like, wow, you actually listen to your music after it releases, because most of the people are just like, their ears are saturated, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, for me, it's like listening to a really, we often, as music fans, as heavy metal fans or whatever, we go down a rabbit hole and then we try to find this particular, riff or a pace in a song or something. Like sometimes we find it and we are really happy, but a lot of times we just don't get that song we're looking for. I guess these songs are just like those songs, which are non-existent, and we always look for them. So it's really enjoyable for me to listen to it myself. It's like I was looking for this or something like that.
Okay.
I have a good time listening to our own music too. Yeah.
That's refreshing to hear. That actually is refreshing to hear, because most times, no, okay. So here's the question then. Like, usually with me, when it comes to my own music or music that I'm part of or whatever, it takes me quite a lot of time after working on it to actually kind of appreciate it. Like it's taken me almost like a year or so after the last EP that I was part of came out to look back at it and go like, holy shit, this is not bad. This is actually a good song.
Oh yeah, that happens.
Does that happen with you? And does that happen with Hail to the Heroes?
Yeah, that happens. I mean, right now it's too soon for Hail to the Heroes, but there'll be a point when there'll be a long gap and I'll be like doubting the whole thing myself, right? But once you like kind of go back to it and listen to it like after a long time, and then you find out that it like you've done a really good thing out here, right? So yeah, I've that has happened to me like many times before in other records as well.
As honest or as much as you can reveal to us, is there any new music from Firstborn on the cards, and when can we expect it?
Yeah, the thing is, we have been planning since last year that we want to bring out something by the end of summer. So that's our plan basically. Now we have been exchanging some new tracks and stuff, and yeah, it's work in progress. I'm the slow, tell you that.
No, so the bonus for everyone is that they don't get just like one release from Girish Pradhan this year, more than one. So.
Yeah, I guess so.
Shaping up to be a busy year. Let's keep it that way. So as we begin to wind down, Girish, I have to ask, what shampoo do you use and how many times do you shampoo in a week?
Oh, well.
There are some other people who have long hair too.
Yeah,
and, we could all use with some advice.
Oh yeah, I would advise that you should not follow my way at all, because
wait, is your way? Wait 1 second. My way is basically I don't take care of my hair. Maybe
exactly that's
shampoo,
what I
that's
do.
It.
Yeah, that's exactly.
High five, man.
What I'm telling you, like all the women listening to this podcast would be like, how? What?
Not all the women.
Well, the few. The few that listen to this podcast, or at least till the end of
if you don't want your hair to be too straight, don't use Head and Shoulders.
Good one. We're never getting sponsorship from Head and Shoulders, ever.
Yes. Girish, we'd love you to return and, let's chat about The Number of the Beast, maybe. Because that's an album that turns 30 years old this year.
Oh my God, really? Oh, yeah. And I can see that poster behind you, and it's lovely.
Yeah, fuck. So let's do that. Let's do that eventually. I think we'll get in touch with you soon enough.
Our people will call your people.
Huh? Yeah, our people will call your people.
Cool.
Yeah. And till that time, why don't you guys write in and let us know what you thought about the new Girish and the Chronicles album or the Firstborn music. you can do so. Just drop in a line. We are at hornsupod.com or on Twitter at hornsupod. As always, I'm on Twitter at Asmawani.
I'm at Trend Crusher.
And this was Horns Up.
Horns up, guys.
Horns up.
Awesome.